Hey guys, it's the Commander Casual. Just tried to record a game, but MTGO bugged out on me super hard on like turn 4, so we're starting again. And I'm pretty okay with this opening hand. Probably get a Knight of Infamy out on turn 2. So yeah. And then Shared Triumph after that. Name our Knights. And then Sidar Jabari on turn 4. This has flanking, and it's just awesome. Don't we love our 4-mana 2/2s with flanking? So we're playing against Ayli, the Eternal Pilgrim, which is could be Cleric Tribal, but is likely just like life gain kind of good stuff with tokens. Chromat, which could be anything. Chromat has a lot of like random 5-color decks that are kind of going for something. And Horde of Notions, which could be Elemental Tribal, but again, could be just like Chromat. It could just be the head of 5-color anything, or 5-color good stuff, so we'll see. Just hoping MTGO doesn't bug out again. It was really weird, it just cycled through all the everybody's turns like super fast. Like we played like up to turn 4, and then it oh, I got a Stormforge Masterwork. Went up to like turn 4 and just like replayed through the first 4 turns at like super speed. Like it kept showing it over and over and over again like 3 times within the span of a minute, and then it just completely stopped. And nobody was responding to me, so maybe it was an issue on my end. But this Mr. Man guy, the Ayli guy, was in the last game too, and he left too, so maybe it bugged out for him as well. I see your turn 2, Commander, with my turn 2 protection from white creature. Deal with that. I got our Knight of Obligation going so we can start extorting people. I'm curious to see what these two 5-color decks are doing. 5-color Elemental Tribal's fun, but it's not super strong. I did the deck in paper with Horde of Notion as the commander, and it's fun, but it's not great unless you go with like a pretty hard graveyard kind of reanimator thing with all the really big elementals. So SRAM, Senior Edificer. So maybe this guy's doing some kind of Voltron-y deck, or a vehicle deck maybe. Or it could just be an artifact synergy deck, we'll see. Play our Shared Triumph and name Knights. Hopefully these other guys don't have a lot of Knights, because it is one of those like, it's one of those old lords that applies to like everything. It's just a little interesting, but this is 2 to equip, right? Yeah. Do we attack for 4 or sit back? It's got Death Touch, but we have protection, so that doesn't matter. I'm not a huge fan of that SRAM. I gotta say, that's scarier to me than Ayli. At least when Ayli has no other creatures. Yeah, we're gonna attack the Chromat player, because I don't like what he does. We get the Exalted trigger. Oh, my game volume's high. Kingpin's Familiar, or Kingpin's Pet. So an extort thrall. That's probably a good sack outlet. So you can sack another creature and gain life equal to its toughness, or sack a creature and utter end something. Only if you have 10 or more life than your starting total, so if they have 50 or more. This guy's just hitting all the triple lands. It's quite the mana base. But I guess he missed a land drop there, so that's unfortunate. For him. Not for us. Got our Blood Crazed Paladin, one of our new Ixalan Knights. Oh, we got our Fiend Slayer, the Jedi. There's not a whole lot of point in playing anything pre-combat. Let's spread the damage. Let's attack Mr. Man. The Ayli player. You're gonna always yield to the Exalted trigger. And I think we're gonna play our Knight of Obligation. If we get a land next turn, then we can place it our Jabari and extort. And if we don't, we can play our Fiend Slayer Paladin and extort. Start getting some life going. Set up for Vona a little bit. Not that you need extra life to use Vona, it's just nice. And play our Knight of Obligation. And pass turn. I don't know if this Horde of Notions deck is fairly like Jund heavy or that's just the lands they got, but we'll see. Draw Chromat's abilities, destroy target creature, blocking or blocked by Chromat, gains flying, regenerate, pump it, or you can put it on top of its owner's library. That one does not seem great. We're gonna take our beats from Kingpin's Familiar, or Pet, whatever. Totally surprising. Yeah, and he's gonna not extort because he had to play that tapped. I'm sure they've got the two 5-color randomness decks by the looks of it, and then we've got 2 black-white kind of life gainy decks. For those that haven't seen my deck tech, this is Knight Tribal, but it does have some life gain synergies in it. We've got our Always Watching. I might play that. But I like setting up or getting our actual knights out so we can use Stoneforge Masterwork. Yeah, let's get our knights out. And I always yield to the Exhort trigger because we have an option of paying it anyway, so it's not like it'll resolve without us knowing. That's sweet life gain. Or life drain, I guess. Whatever. Does he trade here with the Nighthawk? That's the question. I'm just going to attack Reggae Man and spread the damage. Let's get Vigilance, little sit. We're just gonna keep it even, spread the damage out. I'm trying to think if there's a legendary in red that has Death Touch, just as part of their flavor text, or sorry, not flavor text, as part of their card text. Because red has so many of those effects that lets you deal damage with the card, and that just seems really gross. I was just thinking of having Death Touch on your commander, especially if it's a low-cost commander, is kind of a nice little benefit. Because this just sits here as a disincentive to block. And there's a lot of decks that combo with like they use Basilisk Collar or like Oxygen Warhammer, or like auras that give lifelink, and you put that on your commander that deals like damage to creatures or something like that. You can gain lots of life. It's the same thing with Death Touch because it doesn't have to do combat damage. So if the commander has Death Touch and then you use some kind of ping thing, you can just murder stuff regardless of the amount of damage it does. Or you use like a Chandra's Ignition style spell or something like that. So got our Westvale Abbey. Let's see if we can see if we'll see an Ormondal in this game. Hopefully not. Right, we're gonna eat a brass-knuckled punch from the Flying Thrall. That's okay. This has got to be one of my favorite card arts ever on Fiendslayer Paladin. Because he's just got like a lightsaber, essentially. I just like to call him the Jedi. I was arguing with some guy, playfully arguing with some guy in a game at one point, and he referred to this guy as the anime knight, which I thought was pretty funny. But Srom's got some nice art too. Just lots of detail. Just like that there's all this stuff going on in the background too. These little dwarves building constructs, gear hulks and such. Okay, so there's, wow, with the triple lands. He's got a solemn. So he's not exactly betraying the artifact synergy idea. Let's see if we can actually see something out of Reggae Man with his 5-color horde deck. Bit Blast! Maybe he's playing the 5-color Cascade deck. Let's see what he... Oh! He's cascading! I love that. Bit Blast into Bloodbraid into Tamir Ascendancy. As if Bloodbraid didn't already have haste, but whatever. Use that. I want to do a deck like that once. I think it's Ramos, the Dragon Engine, the artifact dragon that has the 5. Like, he's technically a 5-color commander, but he has you put a counter on him whenever you cast a spell. You put a counter on him for each color of that spell, and then you can remove 5 counters from him and add like 2 of each color to your mana pool, so 10 mana total. And he just seems awesome for doing like some kind of stormy deck, but I already kind of have a storm deck, so I want to do like 5-color Cascade, because all the Cascade cards are at least 2 colors. I think the only ones that are 3 colors, there's a Sphinx, maybe Enigmatic Sphinx or something like that. That's what it's called. And then there's also what's the other one? Oh, Maelstrom Wander's the other 3-color one, which just cascades twice, which is awesome and gives everything haste. What do we cast here? We could give all of our humans protection from stuff if we want with Riders of Gavany. There's not a lot of... We can only give it from a creature type, and there's not a cohesive creature type, and there's also no major threats. I think we're just gonna always watching and keep up with the extort. This just gives non-token creatures +1/+1 and vigilance. We already have vigilance on one of our knights, but there's no point in attacking alone now that we don't have Exalted. So, and giving these guys both vigilance will let us kind of attack and also sit on D. So we'll do that. Sorry, I keep scratching my facial hair, and you guys can probably hear that over the mic. Who do we attack? Can't be the target of black or red spells your opponent's control. This looks like a hearty amount of black and red. But he didn't even answer me. Come on, guy. We saw 2 cascade spells. You cascaded into another cascade spell. You're playing the cascade deck. He blew up my thing, so he's getting attacked. And I don't really want to attack into a Death Toucher, so... Sorry, Mr. Lemon. He'd probably just jump his Solemn anyway. So I want to draw the card. So yeah, let's see how this goes. This Reggae Man has all of his mana up, and I don't love that. He can Kessig Wolf Run all he wants, because this has first strike, so... And lifelink, which will be nice, gain us a little bit of life. Very quiet in the chat this game, I'm surprised. gonna joke and say pretty high power level, but I'm kind of leading right now, so. Oh, please don't. Oh, sweet. Really? Really? On a Bloodbraid Elf? Like, how's he gonna... Okay. I don't know how he's gonna abuse that. It's not like you can blink it. Or flicker it. Well, let's see what you got, Ayli. I guess he couldn't have anguished in making my Fiend Slayer, but I still feel like Sram or even Knight of Obligation would have been a better choice. Maybe he's gonna... Yeah, I'm okay with that, because I still get to extort, so... I think if he was gonna do both of those, he should have done it the other way around. But whatever. Maybe he has his reasons. I know Ayli is quite popular because you can build a really, sorry, I shouldn't say a really, but like you can build a pretty good budget deck out of her that still kind of competes with other decks. Because you can just always leave mana up, so if you're about to get board wiped or have your stuff removed, you can get some value out of it. Because it only costs 1 to activate her first ability. And then it's easy to just get a lot of... Oh, he's playing the politics game. My goodness, monster. I didn't even think of that. I want to run Wolfrun now just so I can do that. I mean, not that Wolfrun isn't just a good card anyway, but... Should be pretty much an auto-include in just about any red deck. Should put it in my budget Borborygmos deck. Phyrexian Rebirth. That destroys my things. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about with the Ayli deck. Now she's going to sack her stuff that would have been destroyed anyway. And so not only is the Phyrexian Rebirth a weaker creature, but she gains some life off of this now too. Yeah, it's only a 4/4, which is pretty paltry. Oh, it's the number of creatures. I always thought it was combined power toughness. I guess that'd be ridiculous. It's still nice board wiping and getting something out of it. This is a super cool token. It's all fleshy and mechanical and gross. That's what we expect from Mirrodin. And now we can't extort, so I think we're just gonna play our commander. There's no reason waiting for an extra, leaving up an extra mana and stuff. And it benefits from both of our lord effects. It already has vigilance, so the always watching's just a straight up a glorious anthem right now. But yeah, so for those that don't know, Vona, Vampire Knight, can pay 7, destroy target non-land permanent. I can activate the ability only during my turn. That part's really important. Because you're like, oh, it has vigilance, I can leave it up and destroy stuff at instant speed whenever I want. And you can destroy stuff at instant speed, just only during your turn. And the first time I played it, I made a very crucial mistake at a very crucial time and didn't notice that, so. Of course, now our Stoneforge Masterwork does nothing because we don't have any other knights. It gives +1/+1 for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. So whether it's like a human or a knight in this case, it gets +1/+1. But condition for that being you have to have at least 2 creatures for it to do anything. At least 2 creatures that share a creature type, I should say, to do anything. So. And I guess the Phyrexian Rebirth does create an artifact token, so I think I mean, it's also just a good card. Don't get me wrong. But I think this guy is doing artifact synergies or something like that. Although SRAM seems weird in just artifact synergy unless he's like... Another enchantment enters the battlefield, draw a card. Maybe it's like an aura deck then? I don't know. Maybe it's just a whole bunch of cards this guy just likes. Like it's just a 5-color good stuff deck. Enter another enchantment. Oh, is it a curse deck? Is that why? Because curses are auras, so you'd still draw with Strom. That would make some sense. It could be like, I don't even know if it's artifacty. It could just be the curse deck. Because that makes sense with the Eidolon of Blossoms and Strom. That's cool. I haven't seen a 5-color curse deck yet. I built 3-color, like an Esper Zur the Enchanter one. Because you can tutor up a couple of the curses. There's also the new curses that are coming out. Yeah, it's definitely the curse deck. So that's pretty cool. Or just could be 5-color enchantments, and it just happens to run all the curses. But I'm showing my Canadianness with the way I spell color. Don't hate me because I'm Canadian. Just like Americans, but we spell stuff different, and there's a lot less of us and a lot, well, not a lot larger landmass, but slightly larger landmass. For anybody who's American watching this, there's like a tenth of America's population is sorry, by America I mean the United States. A tenth of the United States population is about the same amount of the entire population of Canada. So we're still here. It's not nearly as many of us. We can't cast our Marauding Knight, which breaks my heart because I love that card. Even though there's only like two planes for it to benefit off of. Gets +1/+1 for each planes. There's a Crusading Knight, which is like the color swapped version, which is white, has protection from black, and gets +1/+1 for each swamp your opponents control. So I could give it protection from plants here, hit this guy, and then blow up his Avenger. Which is what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, screw it. Because then if anything goes wrong, I've got protection from plants if I somehow fail to kill the Avenger. Let's do it. So still got a pretty healthy amount of life. And I'll be gaining 6 from hitting this guy. Now last time I cast this card, I accidentally named Knight because I'm used to naming Knight for this stuff, and gave my own Knights protection from Knights, which is super not helpful. So we're going to name Plant. Oh, it's humans though! Crap! That's a big misplay on my part. Whatever. We'll just attack Mr. Man instead. It's a 2 cost, right? Yeah. We'll attack Mr. Man and then blow up the Avenger anyway. So because of our Anthem effects, we're going to gain 6 here with the lifelink unless he, I don't know, Path to Exiles me, which could be a pretty real threat. But we're going to gain gain 6 and then pay 7, so we'll lose 1 to destroy an Avenger of Zendikar, which I'm totally okay with. 5-color curses, yeah, with some Enchantress sprinkled on, but all the curses are in here. That's awesome. Cards. He's got that new humility one too then, which is terrifying, but love the Circe. Love the curse. Let's see, cards. Avenger Zendikar is just one of those cards where it's just like you play it and then everybody's just like, well, you need to die or that needs to be destroyed. No! Fumigated. Heartbreaking. Well, we still got Sidar Jabarbar. Felt like Ace Ventura saying that. Prophecy is whatever one makes of it, but destiny cannot be changed. He's got his own quote on his card. That's lame. Should be a quote about him from someone else. He's got that sweet flanking tech. Ooh, kind of an interesting art. So cloudy. She shepherds mysteries and dust. His other, okay, fine. Shepherd's mystery and dust. His other would flock of sheep. Just some enchantresses. So whenever he casts enchantments, he gets to draw cards. Oh, this is a actual enchantment, not a creature. How do you do Trespasser's Curse anyway? I can't decide with that deck if I want to do the charm deck with that, because you just cast all the like 2 and 3 color charms, so you get tons of counters on it. Or if I want to do a counter deck with Ramos, or if I want to do that cascading deck with Ramos. You can do so much stuff with them, honestly. You can just like, or you can easily just play like 5 color good stuff, because you can run like, I mean, like if you activate his ability and add the mana to your pool, and it only takes 5 counters, so you can easily just cheat counters onto him a different way. If you activate his ability, that's basically Progenitus mana right there. So you can just Progenitus flat, and it's absolutely ridiculous. The only thing that stops you from like completely like storming off and breaking the game is the fact that you can only activate that ability once per turn, but it's still a ridiculous amount of mana. Come on, I don't even. Come on, man. Playing Knight Tribal. Get Ayli, the eternal jerkface that keeps blowing up my stuff. Gotta land. So I'm gonna play our Sidar Jabbar. Yeah, I want the Janky Spirit Dragon from the same deck. Spirit Tribal. Oh, he is. The Commanderverse just came out with a video, and Steven plays the 5 color Kamigawa Spirit deck and just irritates the crap out of Justin, who's another one of the players. We're gonna leave our blood crazed paladin up. It was a super funny episode. I'd encourage checking it out. Chef at Dunes. Could you control get +1/+1? Take swipe. Pretty strong. It's a battlefield, pay any amount of life. Target opponent reveals that many cards in his or hand. You choose one of them and exile it. It's kind of an interesting card. It's another Exort card, so I understand why it's in there. It's also probably pretty budget friendly for a 5-drop. It's not that strong. So. Okay, so Trespassers cursed Mr. Man then. Wasn't really paying attention when he did do that, so. If you're targeting me with that, I'm gonna be upset. This is Ray K. Man's. Yeah, so he's just playing like 5 color good stuff. Which is fine. Like it's. He's got lots of cascadey stuff. I guess it's not the Cascade deck. It could be. It could have all the Cascade cards in there. That's not that many cards. It's not like you're restricted to any kind of particular deck archetype if you're running them all. Some of them aren't even that good either. Like, I think it's Demonic Dread is the black-red one. 3-drop, and then Violent Outburst is the red-green one. They're both another 3-drop. They're not that great. but they're really popular in Modern because they do the Living End deck. Filigree Familiar. Gains 2 when it enters stride. Draws a card when it dies. My brother has kind of a... It's still a combo deck, but it's not like ridiculous. Kiki-Jiki deck. And he runs one of these in here. It's nice for... Because Kiki-Jiki can be so oppressive and just absolutely ridiculous. So... Especially when he'll play like an Inferno Titan. So it'll be like one trigger of its enter the battlefield ability, and then he'll copy Inferno Titan, so it's another trigger of the enter the battlefield ability, and then he'll attack with the copy because it has haste, so it's a third trigger. So that's like 9 damage divided as he chooses, and then you get smacked in the face by a 6/6. So not a huge fan of it. Kiki-Jiki's another deck I don't absolutely love because it's pretty basic, and I don't think it's unfair at all in any way. I love the art on this card. But I'm not a fan of the card in general. Not as a commander, I think. I think it's totally fine in the 99. I think the card's a little bit, little busted. Mostly because you sack the token and not exile it. Like, you'll notice a lot of effects on that came out since Kiki-Jiki, exile the token, so that you can't get any kind of death trigger off of it. Because like with Kiki-Jiki, you can abuse Skull Clamp and any creature that has a death trigger. So I think there's like it's Hoarder Dragon or something. It's like a 4, 5, or 6 drop standard dragon. But when you play it, you get to search your library for an artifact card and exile it under Hoarder Dragon. And then when it dies, you get to put that artifact in your hand. So it's when you copy it with Kiki-Jiki, you essentially get to tutor for any artifact in your library, put it into your hand, and then also swing in with a flying dragon. So not a huge fan of that either. But I could just be salty because I've lost to the deck a few times. He's discarding his curses, and I'm getting really upset about it. I guess he can return them with Starfield, but still. I wonder what's in his hand that he doesn't want to discard. The thing I love about the curse deck that I find absolutely hilarious is you can there's that new white curse that costs like 8 to play or something like that. It's what's the original enchantment? I think it's called Humility. It just turns all the enchanted players' creatures into 1/1s that lose all their abilities. And then you can also pair it with the other curse that gives all the opponent's creatures -1/-1. So any creature they play loses all of its abilities, so you don't even get like enter the battlefield triggers, and then just dies immediately as a 1/1, as a 0/0 rather, because it's a negative stat effect. It's not a destroy effect. Realm Razor. Battlefield exile all lands, or at least battlefield return exiled cards to the battlefield tapped to their owner's control. What's his plan here? Oh, I guess he's got this Kalni Heart Expedition. Oh, I don't like cards like that. Not a big fan of land isolation or destruction in any means. I'm just going to play our Bloodcrazed Paladin so that we can have another thing on board. I was going to say, at least it doesn't have haste, but he's got a Tamir Ascendancy. So he gets to draw a card, and it gains haste. All things considered, we're not in a terrible spot. That's great. Thanks, MTGO. Thank you for that. That's gross to the Realm Razor, but I need those things. Can he sack this now, or does he need? Yep. So he'll have 3 lands now, and the Chromatic Lantern. Yeah. He's doing some lands energy kind of things, but he's got that Royal Elemental too. Maybe it's like a Cascadey Landfall deck. I don't know. Not really a huge fan. But the reason for that I don't love land destruction and stuff like effects like this is just that you came to play the game, so if you can't cast things, you can't really play the game. I mean, I guess you can use whatever you still have on board, but like we're not even going to be able to equip our Stoneforge Masterwork for like 2 turns at least. So that's if we draw 2 lands. So this guy's got a couple enchantments on board, but this Mr. Man guy is pretty screwed unless he's got a creature hiding under. Oh yeah, he's got these guys, right? Forgot about that. And he doesn't want his Realm Razor to die, so that's great. Bleh. And I mean, you can play whatever you want, Commander, but Adaptive Automaton. Could just hate this guy out. I feel like if he dies though, the Realm Razor trigger won't. It's like Fiend Hunter. If you kill an opponent that's like Fiend Huntered something of yours with one of those when it leaves the battlefield kind of effects, I feel like it doesn't work right. This is on the attack, right? Yeah. So we're just gonna attack Reggae Man, both of our guys. Yeah, sorry. I feel like if he dies, then like the trigger never goes on the stack when of this leaving the battlefield because he just loses. So I don't. I'm not super excited about that. Sidar Jabari doing work, attacking and tapping down Horde of Notions. Take that, other Vigilance creatures. Yeah, I mean, this Realm Razor honestly isn't terrible for us because we've got our little Anthems out and a couple creatures. That's also why I just wanted to get that Blood Crazed Paladin down. But, yeah. We'll see. Hopefully we can force this guy to block with Realm Razor. It'd be really funny if he like acted spitefully though and refused to block with it before dying so that we wouldn't get our lands back. But actually, yeah, this Curse player is probably in the best spot right now because he gets these to the battlefield. I forgot that. I thought they went back to his hand, and then he'll have what is it, Opalescence essentially. He controls 5 or more non-auras. Okay, so maybe he doesn't have enough. That's one of the curses. There's another curse. There's another curse. Yeah, so he won't be able to Starfield because he's only got 2 non-aura enchantments, but he can still curse people, which I'm assuming he'll curse the crap out of this Reggae Man, but oh, gross. He's got just enough mana to Avenge Zendikar this time. It's gonna be like, Riders of Gavany, where are you? But I guess that still wouldn't apply to this guy because he's a vampire. Yeah, he's not super happy with me. He's not gonna attack me with Realm Razor because he doesn't want it to die. We've got lots of life, we can take 10. I'm not giving up my Sidar Jabbar. Oh, sweet, a Silver Knight. Now we just have to draw 2 planes. Oh, and he's got all his plants to block now. That's a pain. Oh, we're racing and he's winning the race. It's not looking good for us, guys. I mean, we're a low-cost deck, so if we drew lands, we probably would have been fine. But, no such luck. Yeah, killed the plant with flanking. Oh, the block still happens because it doesn't have trample. Well, that would actually suck if this guy had lifelink. His flank killed the plant before the damage went through, so you wouldn't gain anything. I mean, it wouldn't suck if he had lifelink, but I mean, like, that interaction would be annoying. It's funny that it still shows the life paid on this guy. Does this guy have 2 swamps? I can't tell. Why can't MTGO just, like, neatly organize the exiled cards? Let's see, he's gonna get a Zendikar Resurgent. Never mind, so he's got his stuff online now. Oh, okay, he can... Wait, what? I thought it was non-aura. Oh, it's just that all non-aura creatures get it, or all non-aura enchantments turn into creatures. But he just needs 5 enchantments. I thought it was 5 non-aura enchantments to activate it. Well, yeah, screw you, Reggae Man. Feel the thunder of Curse Guy. I hope. Unless he's attacking me, I'd be upset about that. Yes! Feel the wrath. I was gonna say, try not to kill this guy before we get rid of Realm Razor, because I don't think we'll get our lands back. But I feel like I say that, and this Reggae Man guy will just let Realm Razor, or he won't block with Realm Razor, he'll just keep it on board if he dies, so that none of us get our lands back. Which, I mean, a lot of Commander comes down to, like, towards the end of the game becomes like Kingmaker. So you're like, well, I can't quite win, but I can make someone else win or someone else lose. And that's exactly what that guy would be doing, is that he'd basically secure this game for the curse player, Mr. Lemon, and then screw me and Mr. Man. There's a lot of misters in this game. Let's see what Reggae Man's got. I mean, he might have something really good that he could play right now that would win him the game, but I doubt it. I mean, he's been drawing lands every turn. Like, he must be. I guess he gets extra draws from the Tamir Ascendancy, or has gotten extra draws. Kadama's reach, yeah, so now he's ramping as well. So not only does he get a land, but one will go to his hand, and if he hasn't played one already this turn, he can play that too. So he's beefing up his little plants from his Zendikarian thing. I think he's doing a landfall rampy deck. Horde Ocean seems like a weird choice though. Like, I guess if you can get some synergy, like bringing back Avenger of Zendikar just like he did, then I guess it's worth it. And actually, I feel like there's a lot of elementals with landfall, so I guess it's warranted. Horde Oceans makes sense. It's also just nice having a 5-drop commander that you can suddenly play and punch in with, because it's got haste and vigilance and trample. In case people didn't know, this is actually what Horde Ocean does, is you can pay one of each color and basically reanimate an elemental from your graveyard. Even the oldest tree folk was but an acorn when Lorwyn's first mysteries were born. Gotta love Lorwyn. Is he attacking with anything else? It looks like he's attacking with all of his lands. God, I forgot about Wolfrun. I really want a Wolfrun now. I mean, just about all the Innistrad cycle of the like allied color activating lands are pretty good, except for like, we got a land. Except for maybe the there's a blue-black mill one. That's not super great because I think it's just a little bit too much to activate. But Kessig Wolf Run's the best, and then you get I think it's like the red one, red white one gives like +2/+0 and vigilance and haste for red white and a tap, which is pretty good. And then the Gavany Township is the green white one, which just gives all your creatures a counter for like a green white 2 neutral and a tap. So it's pretty solid. We're just gonna tap that because we can't do anything anyway with it. So I could trade with Sidar Jabbar. I don't like this at all. Could just double block me with the plants too, and then I lose Sidar. No, I don't. So we just lay into this Mr. Man guy. Just because it's a thing to do. I don't want to piss off Mr. Lemon. Politics, kiddos. I just auto selects because he's there only. He's his only creature. Yar. Sorry, Mr. Man. If attack. At least in my opinion. And I mean, I suppose I could not attack, but when your creatures have vigilance and there's nothing to lose, you might as well. Still gotta try and win. This is the Knight Tribal deck, though. It's actually surprising how well it does at like kind of poking away at people. It never looks like much of a threat, so it's pretty rare you get targeted. Vona actually does, when it's not in its command zone, but when you play it, usually gets you get hated out a little bit by whoever's in the lead because they just know that something of theirs is going to get blown up. Usually like a combo piece or something like that. Curse of Echoes. Whenever an enchanted player casts an instant or sorcery spell, each other player may copy that spell. He may choose new targets for the copy he or she controls. Cool. Targeting Reggae Man. Yeah, go ahead, cast a ramp spell. Jerk. Yes, Mr. Man guy's pretty reasonable if he understands. Whoa. Actually, got the inspiration to do a Knight Tribal deck because I saw a mono white Knight Tribal deck that was led by Sidar Jabari, which I guess is kind of a pauper deck if your commander's an uncommon and not a particularly good uncommon. But you know, it was really funny, and Sidar Jabari actually does pretty well in combat, which I thought was really funny. It had a lot less of an anthem focus and kind of skipped out on the life gain cards, obviously, and just did like White Knights, the kind of the supplementary lords, like Adaptive Automaton, or however you say it, and then just did a little bit more equipment than this one runs. Royal Elemental, we knew that was there, so he's gonna start taking stuff. What happened? Lance, why are you doing this? Why, Lance? Why are you doing this? What if I mess with your display stuff? I don't like how this closes automatically. Or like if you're looking at somebody's graveyard, somebody does something, it'll close the graveyard just like that. It's like me seeing Chromat is not imperative to that play. Oh, he stole the Resurgent. I feel like taking the Starfield might have been the better choice. Because that stops these from being animated. I think it's kind of funny that this gets basically buffed by Starfield. Because it doesn't say non-creature. Jerk. Poor Mr. Man's just getting picked on. Oh yeah, and this has haste. This guy's a sizable chunk of life. Do we trade with Horde on Notions is the question. I don't think we do. I wish we had some lifelink going right now. Or just some general life gain. That'd be nice. lose Jabari if we block, I'm sure. There's no way he would kill the Paladin. Fine, we'll take it. But I'm not happy about it. And apparently all of our lands are attacking as well. And they all have vigilance. Please release me from this torment. Just kill me. Oh, Mr. Lemon. You're fine. Could be whiny. Booyah! Another land. We can equip stuff now, but we still can't play our Silver Knight because it's a swamp. So there, Jabari. Go. Get +1/+1 from the Blood Crazed Vampire. Blood Crazed Paladin. I mean, he's still a vampire, but... Oh, no, I still can't. Attacking still doesn't really gain me anything. That's so shitty. Because he could... He's clearly not against trading with his Horde of Notions, and he could easily just double block me with the plants. That's so annoying. Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry, Mr. Man. This is happening. So there, Jabari. Tap his whatever thing that he might have blocked with. Blood Crazed Paladin hasn't gotten a very good showing right now, but he's awesome to have in Commander. He would totally go in a vampire deck if I had one. If I currently had one, I have had one in paper before Ixalan came out. But he's so good when you just have like two mana up and somebody just board wipes because you just cast it right afterwards, and he gets a counter for every creature that died this turn. So you can like wait, like if even just keeping him up as an option whenever you have spare mana up, and then if there's a board wipe, just drop him, and like you don't even need to have him in a vampire deck. He's just good enough on his own, I think. If you had him in some kind of creature deck or a counter deck or something like that, he'd easily put some work in, because you just leave him up until there's a board wipe or some big destruction spell or something, and then just play him after that, or just a particularly nasty combat phase. Oh, he's getting some life now, I think. Maybe not. I guess there's not a whole lot there's no real point in attacking because he needs it to block, but now this guy won't attack him with Realm Razor, so there's that. I guess there's an argument for leaving Mr. Man alone, or having left him alone to hope that he helps topple one of these guys a little bit, but it's a little too late on the Sterling Grove. Oh, they have Shroud, so now he can't have any other enchantments taken. Oh, it's just creature. Okay, I guess this was animated at the time. Picture looks kind of weird. It looks like Gideon's holding Nisa's staff, which is a really upright hand. Well, let's see it. Wow, this is long. Now he's here too. There we go. Move to combat. Probably won't attack because he has no power on board. I'd really love to draw land next turn so we can play our adaptive automate. And any stat bonus right now is just gonna make that much of a difference. See you guys. Hiding behind the plains. Hiding in the plains. It's kind of hard to hide in a plains, isn't it? Or in plains. Kind of a big wide open space is their characteristic.
Here's some more cascadey stuff. Not really what I wanted to see right now, but Yidris has a special place in my heart. I know he's super oppressive to play against, and just about all the decks that have him as a commander run pretty aggressive combo strats, but I got him in paper in the 2016. I got his deck, 2016 commander release, and it's super, super fun. Because you can just do like so many different variants with it. You can do like graveyard. You can do. I did a funny. If you've ever seen the like Living End modern deck, I did basically a commander version of that. So I just ran tons of cyclers and cycle synergy, and then you basically just have a ton of 1-drops in your deck. Because if you deal damage with Yidris, it gives all your spells cascade. So you cast one of those 1-drops. The only thing with less converted mana cost has to be a spell with 0, and Living End's technical converted mana cost is 0, so you can cheat into it. Yeah, I'm gonna use Curse of Echoes and get land. I was gonna say go get my command tower, but it's exiled. Go get me a Scoured Barrens or an Isolated Chapel. Yeah, this doesn't bode well. I hope these guys say no to this other guy getting land. Please don't be dumb, team. Oh, this is bad because he can just say yes to all of ours and get. This is the copy, not the original. So I'm kind of screwed regardless then. Let's grab our Temple of Silence, not the False God. Oh, none of us should have cast anything. That was foolish. It's gonna take all my stuff. I'm gonna lose. No. As Yidris has haste too. I don't think that's calling it early at all. I just think we lose here. We should have all said no to that. So we only get one land. That would have been like the only way. Because you still would have probably taken Sidar Jabari. But I'm just so good at spelling. Now he gets a ton of landfall triggers regardless. But I get to scry one. So can't take that from me. Because my triggers last on the stack, so it resolves first. Meh. Got him. We're putting that on the bottom. Not like it makes a huge difference, but no, Sidar Jabari, I think. Can't really tell. It's not the plains though. Sidar Jabari. No. Vault of the Archangel. Oh yeah, Vault of the Archangel's another good. Innistrad activating land. Mr. Man is disconnected. Oh, Mr. Man. Oh, we're going to be waiting for him now because he didn't concede properly. Has lost connection to the game. Yeah. Conveniently disconnected. Oh, but he said GG. Well. Good game, guys. Interesting decks. And that's game. This has been the Commander Casual, guys. This is my black-white knight deck. It's a little underpowered, but it is really fun to play, even in games like this. So, see ya.